and the journey will continue.
Everyone moving side by side. You can't really have any type of leeway, any type of insurance when you drop towards the ground. Podesai and Snazy inside this box. So good when they level up and get to just stay alive till that 8th, 7th zone. Unfortunately, Snazy down. It's up to Podesai, the man who was just raining in elims yesterday, to try to do it again. It is Snazy that picks up some of the earlier teams. It's up to Podesai to carry on the torch now. The first pad kind of comes in. And Queasy had hype before. Sitting in Darkness go down. Unfortunately, the zone is a bit too rough to handle. And Queasy, after a little bit of turbulence, are still the reigns, the kings of the sky.
And you can see Hen, right, dropping down, making sure that team that was second height really knew who's dealing with them. You guys better not get any funny ideas, but this is more than just a funny idea. This is Thomas HD landing on height. He's trying to hit a big shot. A big shot goes towards him, though. 56 HP. Is this a fight worth taking, Thomas? You might have to drop down. You're so low, but he's not letting up. He is so relentless, and eventually maybe Trippin was able to talk some sense into him. He needs to get his HP back up, Shayo.
The conversation, though, between these guys is starting to get a little bit too loud to hear. Shield cracks on all sides. Thomas HD was looking nice and fly, but now he's down to the same amount of HP as elims that he has, just one. He's so low. Hen and Queasy barely even scratched. What a perfect hold from them. Meanwhile, Bat Sniper, DKS, trouble from spawn all the way here towards the end game as well. They're going to be looking for their next chance to do something. DKS doesn't even have a pixel of HP. He's finally down. It's all up to Bat Sniper.
Yeah, Hen and Queasy up on height is maybe a foregone conclusion. It's just about what you can do if you're down below. And Bad Sniper not working with much whatsoever, using that brick to try to get his material up because he has a distance to climb. He needs to mantle his way through all these builds. It's not going to be easy. There's players around him. Can he hit some big shots? He needs to connect. He can't. He will go down. And you can see just how difficult it's been for everybody else in the lobby to make their way up. Cammy and Seti, though, they think proactively. They think ahead of the curve, and so they've made their way up there. They will now have the chance to really close everyone out from this. And we talked about Thomas's solo clutch potential, and he's actually on their wall. Will he look to take that fight? No, he wants to get away. He wants to stay in this game as long as he can, and he wants to put himself in a position where he needs to hit a big shot, because with no materials left, things are really awkward.
And then Queasy know exactly where he is. Stretching, straining, sweating. Thomas is trying to get in and has no build now. He's exhausted. Looking for the next shot. A little bit of a breath. Going around all sides as a duo, and he has the angle. Thomas HD is just too much for this world. Gets 3 different people down, up to 4 eliminations, and he's surviving now. A few more builds in the tank. He will live for a few seconds longer.
How does he do it every time? I just don't seem to understand it. It shouldn't even be possible. You can see down below how much is going on. City is now reduced to just using a med miss in the zone. He is lucky that he has some left. The charges may be enough to just sort of get him in towards the zone, and you can see with no materials left, things will now be awkward for Seti. He needs to just stay in this game as long as he can.
A sprint and a jump, but at the same time he tumbles. The high ground is just a washing machine for the rest of this lobby. They're getting rinsed. Hen and Queasy, too much to handle, but look at Thomas taking out Marine. He's picking up so many eliminations down below, finally taken out by Hen, and now it's just a playground for them. Another beam, and that's just what, 10 eliminations for this duo? One more player left. It's T-Chips with about 50 HP. He's gonna try his best, but look at the reserve from Hen. Just look at the aura around this man. He's looking for the next shot, finds the man hiding, and with a shot, they claim the first game. Will move, and suddenly you can see a little bit of vigor in their step. They're moving over, moving frontwards, and have escalated in height as well, matching Seti and Cammy in terms of just height position overall. He's getting bullied back a little bit. They're also looking for that control, but a loss of it a little too. 85 below. Need to find some damage. Find one of the bodies up behind in the zone, but that's not going to be enough to kind of put them way back up. 24 below. They have a little bit more work to do, and Seti's already down. This is so tough for the team on the top right. Darkest is the one all the way up top, finally graduating from just being a mid-beast or mid-game beast. He's going to have actual height control. Cammy will fly into and try to do whatever he can, but Surge is still his enemy. This is so tough to kind of just walk away from.
Yeah, this is going to be so difficult. I don't even know if he can really out-heal this, right? He needs to do some damage and do it fast. It's so awkward for him at this stage. No teammate to help him out. Now, I don't know if he has the solo cut power over Thomas HD, but he will need to harness it right now as the time is slowly ticking. Thomas on your right, he's low on HP, but he does have Trippin this time round. They have found themselves on some loot, but they need to find themselves in a bit of a better position.
Far away from paradise though. Right now they're kind of trapped in a horror movie. Every single new layer change, every single new box is a complete surprise. They have no idea what could really happen. Trippin has to be the one, you're correct, Levin, to take kind of control, to lead him into a spot where he can find maybe a few heals, get back into fighting power. Meanwhile though, Queasy and Hen For them, it's been peaceful and quiet so far. They still have a little bit of control. They still get to have the first word in the conversation, bullying people's boxes down below.
Yeah, you can see those guys on such low materials. A refresh is imminent for them, but where can they find it? You can see Cammy, even as a solo, looking to apply pressure down to low ground. But as his own transitions, teams are going to start running in his direction, and he gets absolutely rolled over, mowed out of the way, and Hen Queasy now finally dropping down to low ground. The complete opposite from the layer they were on last game, but still able to find a bit of success. They need to be uber aware though. There's so many teams on this layer, and you can see Hen activates that mode where he just goes on and on, trying to hit shots. Queasy leading the way, but there's players down on low, and these are players they're gonna have to deal with fast.
Sixth Sense active, duo sliding, teams start colliding. This is gonna be tough all the way down on the grass. Hen Queasy, one last moment, one more build, and now it's all about the shots. They're gonna start to rein him in. Queasy though, singled out by Tripper on the backside, has to jump into the zone and try to go for the refresh, but it's not gonna be possible. He goes down. Hen also is gonna be split apart atom by atom. Alex is the one to take him down, and he is active, magnetic, electrified right now inside this box. X-Squeeze beside him, landing every single shot. That striker pump is active, and they look so good. Look at the amount of builds, the control they have. They're a barrier for two different worlds inside this endgame. Rifla is here too. He's talking, getting harpooned from up top as well. There's desperation on all sides. It's mad chaos in this endgame.
You can never count these guys out. They put in the hard yards earlier on in the game, and they're reaping the benefits of that right now. And the next continuing to hit big shots. We know he can do it. Rifler will go down, finally dropping down, and he has his eyes set on that player on the low, Julian Com. He doesn't even stand a chance at this stage. It's only a matter of time until they get a clear path towards him. If they can hit that shot, things get really interesting going into that final 2v2. They need to be careful though. The high ground team is putting some damage down towards them. Darkies and Satan. And Julian Com actually maybe having a bit more of a say than I thought he could know. And Alex will finally correct him. And so in a 2v2, what can they do? And Alex caught in the zone. X-Squeeze now. I've seen him do crazy clutches in the past, FNTSs. But this might be too much of a mountain to climb. It's going to be so difficult. Satan, Darkies, they are looking so strong. And he's cowering in the zone, and so they will take him out. A victory royale. I told you that these guys...
High ground spot early. They're about to just ramp onto it, but decide otherwise. 2 pads for Aqua as well. Huge tools to use. A weapon of destruction when it's in this man's hands. Analyst and Squeeze. Looks like they see an Elim, or at least had one of their own knocks, and go straight forward to pick it up. It might just be very good court vision, basically, from both these players to know exactly where to be, have that refresh, pick up a keg as well, get towards this spot, front side of the zone. It is a powerful game from Alex and Squeeze right now. Meanwhile, Aqua's all the way up top bullying Wafflard. He easily has high ground, just have to use one of these pads, and now he's bullying every team he can sense and see down below.
Yeah, without dropping Shuriki out of the picture, Queasy and Hen not looking too strong either. This is really the only team who can have a dominant say on the height. They love it up there. And we'll see whether they can get more eliminations. I'm sure he'll be looking up thinking, oh, wow, I wish I could be there. I wish I could join them. But in the meantime, he just needs to stay alive. He needs to hit some big shots on the way as well. No, he goes down. Seti and Cammy using some of them launch pads now. And they get to the front of the zone. But can they clear out this layer and keep themselves in this one? A bit low on HP, but they have the means to get themselves back up. Aqua and Vino will stay on height. Not many teams contesting them there. But once we switch over to Noah Riley and Fadil, they may be having some very exciting thoughts about what they can do to win this game.
Look at the zone too, just being clamped down on low ground. Meld Dirty down below, have to make this insane climb up a very steep hill. This is gonna be so tough for these low ground teams. Analytics and Squeeze have kind of made that high jump already. They're way past the point, they're looking good for now. DVM down inside that feed too. Lots of stretching distance from Aqua up top. He's really making sure that he has every single angle so far, but is getting chopped down by many teams from that bottom side. Meldy has made it over that hill, and so is Dirty from the bottom. And soon the ground just might fall in a little bit of a second. They still have one more pad to use, and yes, now we're all the way down back onto the road, but it pulls back through old bills as well. This is just chaos for some of these low ground teams, and as a result, everyone's just still lost inside mid ground. They don't want to peek over just set onto any other box. It's 25 players alive as we enter that 8th zone.
Yeah, and you can see Alex and Squeeze, they don't even want any sort of part in that. Marino and Rifler, they want a piece of height. Vino gets a chunk taken out of him, bit up, chewed out, spat, and he needs to fight for his life. Otherwise, it might be time to drop all the way down. You can see Aqua just relentlessly trying to keep it, and he'll hit a big shot. In the pursuit of doing so, Marine gets taken out, and so these guys will hold on to it even when things were looking so tough for Vino. Aqua stepping up when it mattered the most.
How much fuel do they have left in the tank, though? That's so many builds to be able to hold on to that spot up top to relieve all the pressure. Seti Kemi as well, overheating. Maximum overdrive for Seti, though, with that big 180 shot straight to the face. He buys a little bit of time, but the med mist is gone. Vidal is also down with floppers in hand. He's not able to heal from a safe that he can't open all the way up to the top 10, close to it at least. What a run from that duo as well. Seti's ready to do his own thing. A launch pad up top, what a catch too. He was looking trapped, but he releases himself and is free. Gets a huge refresh and is still ready to go. Other side of the zone, looking to see what he can do next. 2 eliminations so far. I'm inside the top 6 right now. The solo performance is so clutch, so monumental from Seti. He can really just fly up these rankings.
He's got so many shots left in that striker pump, but he only has to hit a few. Can he hit some more max damage shots? It's going to be difficult. You can see there's teams up and above him, and even ones below who seem to just have much more control, much more say in how things play out. But you can see he won't stop. That doesn't phase him. He continues to push through, gets a bit of an upgrade as well. And his journey into keeping himself in this game continues. Flodax trying to emulate some of that as well. They might actually run into each other. But Vino and Aqua might have a say before that time comes. Seti will hit max after max! How does he keep doing it? Your name's not Thomas. You can't hit shots like this. But he keeps it going. And with only 3 teams left in this one, Aqua and Vino, they know everything they need to do. Seti finally will be taken out. Flodax coming right back at him. And Vino just stalking his prey, waiting for him to try and make his way up the hill. But like a slithering snake, Flodax will get past him right into the path of Aqua.
And start to make a few more laps around the lobby. It'll be a mini bill bounce back and stretch towards a different side. Cammy sees the pad as well and actually hits it. Gets a breath of fresh air up top. It's Wise who has high ground. I might be looking to challenge it in just a second. Nope, Seti and Cammy just gliding by. Question is, where's Julian? I don't really see him active or alive. Maybe I missed him there. It might just be solo hype for now. Now it's getting crazy all around it. There's many people who are reaching for the skies.
You can see Anderlecht, though, he just needs to stay to ground, keep his feet connected, rooted. You can see him in the back of the zone. And yeah, you were right. Julian is in there. Waze, as a solo, is holding it.
He's
and I
panicking.
think
Look ahead.
As a solo, is trying to take it. He comes over the cone. He hits the shots as well. And as a solo, he has high ground now. And he hits some beautiful shots to bear with it. But can he stay alive?
Oh, no.
He's in the zone. He's got the chance splashes to stay alive, but they're not going to stop that pressure. It's relentless. You can hear that combat SMG firing, and eventually he will be cleared. Anderlecht, though, still up as a solo. Is this duo Pixius or is it solos? Every perspective seems to be a solo, and Anderlecht takes out another solo in this game. 4 eliminations now. The floppers are huge. The harpoon as well could come in clutch. But he just needs to stay up and keep hitting shots. Seti and Cammy now forced out of the game in the back of the zone. They get caught out. Anderlecht still going though, still pushing, still fighting.
Every single duo basically just getting filtered out towards now that last zone. In 18 seconds, we see who gets to really rock in for that place. Went up to a top 10 position. Vortex and Fork are all the way up top. Look for their chance to just kind of dominate and reign control. Meanwhile, down below, Anderlecht unleashed. He has even more. He's cleaning up every single toe he can find down below, and he's getting even more materials, more HP and loot to kind of work with. What is the option now? How long can we stay inside that zone's radiation? How much damage can you really take? Anderlecht's now down to such low HP. Flopper's able to put him back up, but now he has a few more duos to deal with. Look at the material count. It's so high. He's got the tools to work with. The hammer that just nails in every single person into their individual coffin. Anderlecht is too strong. Another solo in his way. The first missed shot out of 10 that he's taken so far, but he doesn't panic. Stays composed. Plays the right side. Looks for his next shot to take 2. Lets the duos kind of milk it out between them. Shady actually battling on the bottom side too. Fork is just forcing so much damage down, and now Anderlecht is going to be free to take a few more shots. Another one onto Shady. This man is just too much. Now has a chance, 330 builds, to maybe even go for this height fight. Another big shot taken, the classic Anderlecht shot that we usually see. Doesn't really connect. Up to 10 now, trapped in this box. He has to find a different type of vantage point. He's getting tracked right now. His movement predicted on all sides. Protection is there too. He's looking good for now. Another big one. He's just not even getting hit at all. 99 from Analex. He's just making this look like he has 4 arms, 2 keyboards, and 6 mice to work with. Armored wall to block the way. He's gonna go all the way up and around. 100 builds. He has high ground. Out of juice. Just 2 builds. How has he got to this position? Analex 2v1, and he's taken down. Fork and Vortex take out the so close side by side down below. For every team that's around 120 points, that is Seti and Cammy. That's a bunch of the POVs we just saw. It's all about separating yourself from the pack. This is the game that can be the difference between qualifying or not. It's not the final one, but you're in a position right now to get a lot of points. Vito O'Reilly, one of the teams that's very similar in that position, 7th place overall, looking to survive. But there's 18 different teams, at least half of them are under that narrative. This is the game that can get them to the finals. Cammy now, he's starting to move to see exactly what he can do. And Dredda is far ahead, but Devium and Washed up top are not making this easy for any team. All the way down below, complete rain of shots. It's a downpour, and no one right now has coverage, coats, or umbrellas to stop it all, at all.
Yeah, you can see in Jetta. We've seen him solo cut plenty of times in many different seasons, modes, metas. But now it's his turn to maybe pull out a solo clutch. Can he match the levels of the previous champions before him? T-Chips in a similar predicament as he rolls through into the front of the zone.
So many teams right now in the very same spot. They're basically tied. This is a tiebreaker game.
You can see Cammy and Seti, they have their eyes set on it. Noah up on height. This is Jam's hood and 2 United. They held it for a bit, but for how much longer can they deal with the relentless pressure, taking walls, taking names? Can he connect with a big pump shot as well? It doesn't seem like that needs to happen because they have control of it regardless, forcing these guys down. And this might be the game we've been waiting to see from them. In 6th place, but how high can they finish? And Dredda still teetering along that line of 5th place. He might have run into a dark alley that he can't get himself out of. He goes down. And T-Chips now, after picking up an elimination, staying high in the game. 3rd place for him. He's doing everything he can to keep their hopes of the FNCS finals alive. Cone now, he needs to be careful that he doesn't get dropped down. Like, Waves, well, boy, it doesn't matter. Waves gets dropped down and takes Andalex out. Can Seti and Cammy finally get a grip on this game? There's been so much chaos. No, Cammy goes down. Seti, can he do another solo clutch? We know he can hit max damage, but how many more times will it roll in his favor? You can see with the flopper in hand, another big shot. It feels like just the last game. T-Chips gets taken out, and in the back of the zone, the flopper play might be huge. Hit some shots onto the deal. It might not be enough. Now they're alert to his position. And so he just needs to stay cool, stay alive. Flowy, sorry. They've not made it this deep into a game before, but trying everything they can to make use of it. Seti now getting back into the picture, and they know it. They find him, they sniff him out, and they're trying to squeeze him out of the zone as well. All these builds, they know he's there. Can they connect with a shot? They will. Flois hitting mighty, mighty shots, and Vidil up above. Noah Riley in a 2v2 now. They need to be careful, keep their distance. Noah Riley is just on such low HP. Can he get the time to heal off? They'll give it to him. And that might be their downfall. That might be their mistake here. You can't allow these guys to breathe, and that's why Mappy gets taken out. Vidil will drop down, and Flois now is a ticking time. It's over. Noah Riley and Vidil in these final moments.
He gets silenced down. 144 points is what 5th place ends at for now. Look for any teams alive trying to beat that mark for the moment. There are 8 different ones inside right now. Vidil at 3rd is going to keep pushing forward. 172, he's way above 144. He's looking good. I see Quebecky all the way on the backside in 9th place. He might be striving straight for it. A 15th and a 13th place team as well will have to break 144 points for now. Artskill with 161. He looks so good alongside T-Chips. What a graduation in skill so far we've seen season after season for this team. Seti and Cammy also basically guaranteed at this point, rocking straight towards the finals. How will this end game really ride? Vidil, Noah Riley down in 3rd. They will be good too. Now we still have 4th and 2nd up, and 18th and 14th up inside the business. It might be one of these teams having to clear up every single elimination here. But for Flois, that possibly might mean taking down T-Chips and Artskill. That means taking down Seti and Cammy as well, and his teammate barely even has enough HP. This is an impossible task with a force you cannot even tame. Cammy now getting close and personal, looking for a few shots. They're getting ready to close this game.
Yeah, is that Cammy and Seti on high, or is it Tayson and Chapix? They're applying some pressure now, but can they drop down and get a bit of these eliminations? So many players falling, and they hear it. Cammy wanting to get in on the action. Wasn't quite able to capitalize, but get some of the loot for it. Needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught in zone. Flois and Mappy now, they want to win this game. They want to close it out in style. Mappy, though, will fall. And again, we're seeing Flois in these final moments, doing everything he can. But will it be a repeat of last game? Will he be able to turn the tide? It's going to be a difficult one. Cammy and Seti won't seem to let him do it. Flois.
And now what's basically happened, 3 of those teams that have qualified to the finals are now through as well, right? Joe and Ziandi, Tayson, Chapix, and then Andretta and Kiko. The only one left is Thomas, HG, and Trippin to be missing out.
I am